tune. Why was there always that rotten tune? Following me around, beating in my head, never letting up. Did you ever want to forget anything? Did you ever want to cut away a piece of your memory or blot it out? You can't, you know. No matter how hard you try. You can change the scenery. But sooner or later, you'll get a whiff of perfume where somebody will say a certain phrase or maybe hum something. Then you're licked again. I can't believe that you're in love with me. I used to love that song once. So did the customers back in the old Break at Dawn club in New York. I can't remember a night when I didn't get at least 3 requests for it. Sue, she was always selling it too. Those were the days.
I can't believe that you're in love with me. You're telling everyone you know that I'm on your mind each place you go. They can't believe that you're in love with me.
Soon. What does soon mean? Not etymologically, not linguistically, not in the way a dictionary would answer, with its clean little definition sitting inside its clean little box, pretending that a word this dangerous can be contained by a sentence. I mean, what does it mean? What does it do to a person? What does it cost? What kind of creature do you become when you have lived inside that word for long enough that it stops being a timeline, starts being an address, a place you inhabit, a country with no borders, no capital, no citizenship requirements, just an endless residency in the space between now and not yet. Soon I will be something. Soon I will be ready. Soon I will start. Soon I will leave. Soon I will speak. Soon I will stop pretending that the life I am living is a rough draft of the life I intend to live. Soon. Existentialism is the proof of the existence of the existentialist, or the lack thereof. That is the joke nobody laughs at. You do not become an existentialist by reading Sartre. You become one by saying soon enough times that the word hollows out, loses its floor, becomes a pit you are standing over, looking down, realizing there is nothing at the bottom. There was never anything at the bottom. Soon was never pointing at a destination. It was pointing at the act of pointing. It was a finger extended toward a horizon that moves at exactly the speed you approach it. If you live long enough in the land of soon, you become something. Not the thing you said you would become, not the pilot, not the architect, not the version of yourself that speaks 3 languages, wakes up early, has a plan. You become something else. A villain, maybe, a monster. Whatever you chose as your alter ego to escape this world of waiting, because the mind cannot sit in soon forever without building something, a persona, a mask, a second self that does not need the future to arrive, because it has made a home in the refusal. The alter ego is not an escape from reality, it is an escape from soon. It is the self that got tired of waiting, walked out of the waiting room, started living in a story it wrote itself because the original story never got past the first chapter. Soon is the most repeated prayer in any language. Think about it. Think about how many times a day, across every country, in every tongue, someone says it. To themselves, to someone they love, to someone they are disappointing. Soon I will call. Soon I will visit. Soon I will change. It is a prayer because it is addressed to something that does not answer. It is a prayer because the person saying it does not fully believe it, but cannot stop saying it. It is a prayer because it requires faith, faith that the future exists, faith that the future is different from the present, faith that the version of you who will arrive soon is better, braver, more finished than the version of you who is speaking. But here is what nobody tells you about faith. It has a shelf life. You can believe in soon for a year, 5 years, maybe 10. You can carry it the way you carry a letter you intend to mail, in your pocket, in your bag, always with you, always on the verge of being sent. But at some point the envelope yellows, the ink fades, the address becomes illegible. You are still carrying it. You have been carrying it so long that putting it down would mean admitting that you were never going to send it. That soon was never a when. It was a way of not saying never. That is the violence of the word. It is a gentle violence, a domestic violence, the kind that does not leave bruises, does not make noise, does not announce itself. It simply erodes. The way water erodes stone, so slowly that you cannot see it happening, so completely that by the time you notice, the stone has a hole through its center where the solid part used to be. Soon does this to a life. It does not destroy it, it hollows it. You walk around looking intact, sounding intact, performing intact. But inside, where the plans were supposed to be, where the becoming was supposed to be happening, there is just the word, echoing, bouncing off the walls of a room that was supposed to be full by now. I think about the people I know who live in soon. I think about myself. I think about the way we talk about our lives as though they are buildings under construction, scaffolding everywhere, blueprints rolled out on tables, hard hats on, everything almost ready, everything about to be finished, everything perpetually 3 months from completion. We speak in future tense so fluently that we do not notice we have stopped speaking in present tense at all. We describe what we will do with such precision, such detail, such conviction, that the description starts to feel like the doing. We rehearse the future so thoroughly that the rehearsal replaces the performance, the way an understudy who never goes on stage eventually forgets that the stage exists. Soon I will write the book. Soon I will leave the job. Soon I will have the conversation I have been avoiding. Soon I will become the person I keep describing to strangers at parties. The one who has it together, the one who followed through, the one who did the thing instead of narrating the intention to do the thing. What does it mean that we can describe our future selves with more clarity than we can describe our present selves? What does it mean that the person I will be soon is more vivid to me than the person I am now? That I can tell you what he eats, how he wakes up, what his morning looks like, what his discipline looks like, what his confidence sounds like, while the person currently speaking cannot tell you what he had for breakfast, or why he is still awake at 3 a.m. writing about a word that has 4 letters, no weight, no substance, no bones. It means that soon is not a timeline. It is a mirror that shows you the self you prefer, the edited one, the corrected one, the one with all the flaws sanded down, all the hesitations removed, all the fear replaced with a calm, steady certainty that the real you has never once felt. You look at that mirror every day, you admire the reflection, you mistake the admiration for progress. It is not progress, it is portraiture. You are painting a picture of a person who does not exist, hanging it on the wall, calling it a plan. There is something that happens to time when you live inside soon. It stops being linear, it becomes circular. You have the same Monday 52 times a year. You have the same January every 12 months. You make the same resolution, break it the same way, feel the same guilt, make it again. The calendar says you are moving forward. The experience says you are orbiting, tracing the same ellipse, passing the same landmarks, arriving back at the same starting point with nothing to show for the journey except the memory of having made it before. This is what soon does to time. It converts it from a resource into a loop, from a river into a whirlpool. You are not spending time, you are circling it, going around it, never through it. Through it would mean doing the thing. Through it would mean the death of soon, the murder of the future self, the burial of the blueprint. Through it would mean looking at the present, this moment, this body, this room, this unimpressive, unfinished, uncinematic version of your life, and saying, this is it. This is the life. There is no other version loading in the background. There is no beta release about to drop. There is no soon. There is only now, standing in the kitchen at midnight, eating cereal from the box, illuminated by the refrigerator light, absolutely failing to be the person you told everyone you would become. That is terrifying. More terrifying than death in some ways, because death at least has the decency to be final. The death of soon is not final. It is a choice you have to make every morning, every hour, every time the word floats up from whatever part of the brain produces it. That factory, that assembly line of deferral that never shuts down, never takes a holiday, never stops whispering, not yet, not yet, almost, soon. If you live long enough in soon, you develop characters. I do not mean personality traits, I mean characters, full, fleshed out, internally consistent alter egos that you deploy into the world while the real you stays home, stays in the draft, stays in the waiting room, reading outdated magazines about a future that already happened to someone else. The alter ego is the one who shows up, the one who laughs at parties, takes meetings, performs competence. The alter ego has a walk, a voice, a way of holding eye contact that suggests certainty. The alter ego is the version of you that lives as though soon has already arrived, as though the transformation happened, the switch flipped, the becoming was completed. The alter ego is convincing, sometimes so convincing that you forget it is a performance, sometimes so convincing that other people build their expectations around it, fall in love with it, offer it jobs, trust it with things that you, the real you, the one hiding behind the mask, know you are not ready for. This is how soon makes liars of us. Not the dramatic kind, not the kind who fabricate stories for profit, the quiet kind, the kind who fabricate selves for survival, the kind who build an entire public identity on the foundation of a private not yet, who show the world a finished building while knowing that behind the facade the rooms are empty, the wiring is exposed, the plumbing leads nowhere. The alter ego is not evil, it is not weakness. It is what consciousness does when the gap between who you are and who you were supposed to be becomes too wide to stand in without falling. It builds a bridge, a temporary bridge, a bridge made of performance, held together by the assumption that soon, the real structure will be built, the real self will arrive. The alter ego will step aside like scaffolding removed from a completed cathedral. But the cathedral is never completed. The scaffolding becomes the building. The mask becomes the face. The alter ego wakes up one morning, looks in the mirror, cannot remember which one it is, the character or the person, the performed self or the actual self, the one who is living or the one who is waiting to live. What does soon mean? I keep coming back to the question. I keep turning it over. I keep expecting it to answer me the way the universe sometimes answers, with a crack, a whisper, a coincidence that feels like a reply. But soon does not answer. Soon does not whisper. Soon is the question, asked by the self, to the self, about the self. It is the most private conversation a person can have, the one between who you are and who you keep promising to become. The existentialist says there is no essence preceding existence. You are not born with a blueprint. There is no meant to be. There is only what you do, what you choose, what you build with the hours you are given. This is supposed to be freedom. Sartre said we are condemned to it. Camus said we should find the strength to live in it. The philosophers made it sound almost noble, the brave individual standing in the void, choosing meaning from nothing, sculpting a life from raw material without a template. But they did not talk about soon. They did not talk about what happens when the condemned free person uses their freedom to defer, when the raw material stays raw, when the sculpting never begins because the sculptor keeps saying, tomorrow, next week, when I am ready, when I have enough money, enough time, enough courage, enough of whatever invisible currency the mind has decided is the entry fee for becoming real. Soon is the existentialist's trapdoor. It is the escape hatch in the floor of freedom. You are free to be anything, so you choose to be something later. You are condemned to choose, so you choose to postpone. You are thrown into existence, so you stand at the threshold, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, telling yourself that you will fully enter the room soon. Just not yet. The room is cold. The room is unfamiliar. The room has no furniture. Soon you will furnish it. Soon you will make it yours. Soon. There is a version of me that exists only in the future tense. He has been living there for years. He is fluent in languages I have only downloaded the app for. He has read the books that are still sitting on my shelf with the spines uncracked. He has built the things I have only sketched on napkins, saved the money I have only calculated in spreadsheets, had the conversations I have only rehearsed in the shower. He is perfect, this future me. Suspiciously perfect. Perfect the way only an imaginary person can be. Because an imaginary person never has to survive contact with a Tuesday afternoon, never has to sit in traffic, never has to fail at the thing they said they would do, pick themselves up, try again with less confidence the second time. The future me does not have bad days. He does not get tired. He does not eat cereal from the box at midnight, lit by the refrigerator, wondering where the years went. He is a ghost that haunts forward instead of backward. Most ghosts are tethered to the past, to the house where they died, the moment they cannot leave, the unfinished business that keeps them circling. This ghost is tethered to the future, to the moment I keep promising will arrive, to the life I keep describing but never inhabiting. He is the ghost of a person who was never born, mourning a life that was never lived, haunting a house that was never built. Soon, I tell him, soon you will be real. He does not believe me anymore. What does soon mean? Maybe it means I am afraid. Afraid that the doing will not match the imagining. Afraid that the person I become when I stop deferring will be smaller than the person I described. Afraid that the cathedral, once the scaffolding comes down, will turn out to be a shed. Functional, honest, ordinary, mine, but nothing like the blueprint. Nothing like the version I showed people. Nothing like the promise. Maybe soon is not a lie at all. Maybe it is a shield, the last barrier between the self and the world's ability to judge the self. As long as I am about to, I cannot be evaluated. As long as the thing is coming, it cannot fail. As long as I am almost there, no one can tell me that there was never as far away as I thought, that the distance was imaginary, that the obstacle was internal, that the only thing between me and the life I keep deferring was the deferral itself. Soon is a buffer, a grace period that I keep extending the way you keep hitting snooze, not because you need more sleep, but because the space between the alarm and the rising is the only space where you are free from both the dream and the demand. Still in bed, still warm, still uncommitted, still, for a few more seconds, possible. That is what soon protects, possibility, the raw, unruined, untested possibility of what you might become. The moment you act, the possibility collapses. You are no longer everything you could be. You are one thing, one specific, limited, imperfect thing. A pilot, but not a poet. A builder, but not a wanderer. A person who chose, which means a person who did not choose everything else. Soon keeps all the doors open, every single one. It just never walks through any of them. I do not know how to end this. That feels right somehow. Because soon does not end, that is its nature, that is its cruelty, its genius, its function. It is a word without a period, a sentence that never closes, a question disguised so thoroughly as an answer that you can carry it for decades before you realize you were never holding a destination. You were holding a direction, pointing, always pointing, never arriving. What does soon mean? It means I am here, still in the waiting room, still holding the letter I never sent, the plan I never started, the self I never became, still orbiting, still circling the thing instead of going through it. It means the future is a place I have furnished so completely in my imagination that the real future, the one that actually arrives, uninvited, undecorated, bare, will never match it. It will show up ordinary, it will show up Tuesday, it will show up smelling like coffee, looking like morning, carrying nothing but another 24 hours that I can use or defer or convert into more soon. It means I am alive, painfully, unjustifiably, inexcusably alive, in a body that is aging at exactly the rate that bodies age, which is faster than soon, always faster than soon. The body does not wait. The body does not defer. The body is on a schedule that it did not share with the mind, moving toward its own deadline with the calm indifference of a clock that does not care whether you have finished what you are doing. The body does not speak in soon. The body speaks in now. The body is always, relentlessly, unforgivably now. The mind is the one that whispers, soon, soon, just a little longer, almost ready, any day now. The body keeps the time. The mind keeps the promise. They have never agreed on the deadline. Soon is the only lie that sounds like patience. Peace. Kiyo.